Joining us to discuss a drug the US FDA approved late last year, has been in short supply, and protects immune compromised individuals is Dr. Thomas Bader, Chief Clinical Officer with Hackensack Meridian Health. Dr. Bader, welcome.
Thank you.
Talk to us about this drug and the updates that it has seen over the last several months.
Certainly. Thank you. So the manufacturer's name is Evusheld. It's a combination of two medications that are antibodies to protect individuals against infection from the COVID virus. And this is really a great new step for the healthcare world in battling this disease. And basically, this medication is intended for individuals who, either because they can't safely receive the vaccine or because their immune system is suppressed, are unable to mount a good immune response to the vaccine. What Evusheld does is it provides those patients with antibodies to protect them against the COVID vaccine. And it came out, as you pointed out, at the end of 2021, and early this year in January, Hackensack Meridian Health, along with other health systems, began to administer it to those two patient populations who can't benefit from the vaccine. And so far, we've infused the medication into over 300 individuals who have been able to benefit from this. The good news that we received in the last, literally, I think in the last week or 10 days, is as the FDA is updating their data on the medication, it's been shown to continue to be effective even with the new variants of the COVID virus. And also it's demonstrated excellent safety profile as we have administered it to, again, really at this point, thousands of individuals. So it's just another step in our arsenal to complement the vaccine to protect individuals from getting a COVID infection.
Not that long ago, we were hearing that there was a short supply of this particular drug. Can you elaborate on that?
The supply issues were pertinent in January and maybe a little bit in February. But at this point, we feel very comfortable with the supply. And really, we're hoping that even more individuals will come in for the medication. Also, I just want to mention the medication lasts for 6 months.
Are you finding that medical providers are being proactive in reaching out to patients, or is it something that you think patients need to be proactive in asking their providers?
So I would certainly encourage patients, anybody who is unable to get the vaccine because of allergy, or if you feel that your immune system is suppressed either by a condition, a chronic condition, or by medication that you've received. But so certainly it's great if patients are proactive, but I would say mostly it's been the provider community. As you can understand, there are some technicalities to this. This applies to unfortunately, many cancer patients who have received chemotherapy, which has suppressed their immune system. There are also people with rheumatologic conditions who have received medication that suppresses their immune system. So mostly we've been reaching out to those specialists, cancer doctors, rheumatologists, and other physicians. But really, we want to get the word out broadly. We want physicians to be thinking about patients in their patient population who might benefit. But we'd love for patients or even family members to be reaching out to their doctors and saying, hey, I heard there's an antibody that can protect me since I can't benefit from the vaccine. Am I a potential candidate?
Would this be something that insurance companies would cover?
Overwhelmingly, I think the message with all of these treatments is that patients shouldn't be worried about costs. The federal government is managing the vast majority of the costs associated with the administration of all these medications. Sometimes there are some charges to insurance companies, but again, the out-of-pocket cost to patients should be essentially non-existent.
Have there been any side effects from the medication that you've seen with patients or some of your colleagues may have?
So fortunately, the medication is very well tolerated. There have been a few people who have had reactions, and again, in general, low numbers, but there have been people who have had reactions. There is a caution in individuals with heart disease, existing heart disease. It doesn't mean they can't get the medication. It just means we want to make sure we're careful with the administration of the medication. But again, one of the pieces of news that we've received in the last several weeks is that our experience with the medication, since it became more broadly available at the end of 2021 and the beginning of this year, the big news really is the fact that it's been very well tolerated and seems to be a very safe medication. Even though Evusheld is a new treatment in terms of preventing COVID infection, we do have experience with the use of antibodies in other diseases. And so I would say it's not that surprising that this medication has been well tolerated and seems to be very safe.
So for those individuals that were able to get, let's say, the two vaccines and the booster, How does that compare to one dose of this particular medication?
It's an interesting question. The short answer is both seem to be remarkably effective. One of the things that we've seen with Evusheld is it seems to be incredibly effective at doing exactly what it's supposed to do, which is preventing infection. On the other hand, the vaccine probably is superior because the vaccine not only leads to your body producing antibodies, which is what Evusheld essentially is, an antibody, but in addition, the vaccine can stimulate your immune system in other ways, the production of T and B cells, and provide probably a broader immunity. But the short answer to your question is the vaccine seems to be extraordinarily effective at preventing death or hospitalization from COVID. And Evusheld similarly seems to be extremely effective at preventing even disease, but also preventing hospitalization from COVID. So they're both very effective, but obviously they serve different populations.
Dr. Bader, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us and just elaborating and sharing with us more information about this.